So now that we have Spigots creating leads and deleting leads every run, I want to distribute leads from the user they're being created in, which is user, over to two other users in a round robin fashion. So if we take a look here, the two users I've set up, the way that we're going to pull them into this distribution is that we have division equals sales on their record. So if this works, what I expect is in this report, we will see those two users, that's test user and security user, start to get leads assigned to them. And it should be the newest leads first. You could think of user in this case as like the new leads queue or the leads to outflow queue or something like that. So first I'm going to create a new spigot called lead assignment. Putting it in my primary app configuration. And for run order, I'm going to do 50. So that's in between 100 and 0, or the other two spigots that are running. And I want this to run every time. I'm going to give it the always running schedule. So for input, I'm going to give it the newest leads that are owned by user and that have a status of open, not contacted. So I'm going to say where and status equals open, not contacted. I'm going to order by created date descending, and I'm specifically going to do 3 because I want to show what happens when we have an uneven number of leads distributing. So in a round robin sense, 2 are going to go to one user, 1's going to go to the other, but the next time the app runs, we should see that only 1 goes to the first user and 2 goes to the second. So in other words, they're both given the same amount of leads over repeated runs. Okay, so now I'm going to have to add a modifier. A modifier is another set of records that can get pulled into the spigot. They aren't themselves being looped through in the action, but they're there to provide extra data to the operations that we want to do in the spigot action. So in this case, the input is a set of leads and the modifier is a set of users that we're round robining the leads to. So I'm going to say where users are active and the division is sales. I'm going to order by ID descending because I do not want the order to change every time it's queried. And for limit, I'm going to put 2,000. The reason is as we add more people to the sales team by marking their division as sales, I want them to automatically get pulled into this and for them to get an equal share of the leads. So finally, I'm going to make my spigot action. And I'm going to call this round robin distribute leads. To users. We're going to do type subject subtype update. We're going to be updating leads. And for parameters, I need to set the ID. In this case, it's the ID of the input. And we want to set the owner ID field. And this will be mod1.id. So the ID of the user. The one in mod1 refers to the first set of modifiers by run order. In this case, there's just one set of modifiers, which is our users. Okay, so if this is working, we expect to see in our report that leads are going to be round robined the next time the spigot runs. So here we can see a bit of the app run lifecycle. So the status changes depending on which phase it's in, the scheduled job start, each of the batch executions, it's one per spigot, and then finally finish. So let's see what we've got. Okay, so the first thing that happened is that test user got 2 and security user got 1. And hopefully the next time this runs, we'll see that they both have 3. We can see that the leads that got assigned are the newest by create date. So all the leads that are still in user are older. And we can see a bit in here about the rendering of the formulas. So we can see that in this case, we went from a lead being owned by this ID to this ID. And it just helps us kind of piece together what's going on inside of the spigots. Okay, so now they both got bumped up to 3, and that has to do with the mechanism we have to make sure that the round robin is going equally to everyone in there. So that's how you do round robin lead distribution, but I would also say that this is very abstract. So it doesn't just have to be owner ID on lead. We could be setting any field to any value based on different records interacting. Realize that lead and user were just values that we put into fields. So we can put other objects there. We can put other fields.